Just a sound test. Let me know if you can hear me. It should be fine. It was fine before. Hi, Leo. Just in the comment if you can let me know if you can hear me properly. So again, I will be working on my iAnimate combo assignment. So I'm taking the class at iAnimate, the workshop number 2 with Jeremy Collins, and they allow me to stream while I'm working on my assignment, which is very cool. So yeah, let's get started. So here is the animation so far. Oh, let me close this. The animation from yesterday stream. So everything is polished until this point, but the face and the hairs. Here it's polished too. Yesterday we've been polishing this part of the animation and the slight move, and we've just started polishing this part of the animation, the very last move. Okay, so I'm working with this model instead of the other suite because of the poly count. This model is way more complex because there is a lot of little pieces of equipment, and it makes my computer running slow. While here, I'm generally hitting the 30 frame per second rate, so it's a little slower because of the stream and also because of the training dummy here. And I probably have some something running in the background, but it's mostly real time. So I will get rid of the dummy here, and yeah, I'm reaching the 30 frame per second, so it's gonna be smooth to work. So as explained yesterday, when I'm polishing the animation, I always start with the root here, and I generally start with its location and then its rotation. So I've already polished those curves, and what I want to do is rework a bit the chest movement and the stretching motion here, and then I will work with the legs. So I generally work with the root and then any contact like the feet, and then I go through the body chain, the arms, and anything that is following the motion. So what I want to do here is avoid this kind of stuff. For example, if we track the gun movement, it's going on the right, then up, then on the left, then on the right, etc. So I want to avoid this. So the arms are not polished at all. I will be doing this later on. Okay. So yesterday my concern was that the stretching here of the body wasn't necessarily following the speed of the body. And you generally want to have the most stretching whenever the body is going the fastest. So if I just select this controller and hide the other one, I will show you the motion path here. So we can see the spacing of this bone, okay? And we can see that the spacing is the most important in those parts, okay? So I should have a little less stretching on this pose and a little more on this one to fit what I'm doing, okay? The head is leading the animation currently. It's like we are pulling her head. So I will also have to track the head motion. That's going to be one of the most important things. And then all the other part of the body will mainly be like follow through items that will be following the motion of the head. Okay, so here we can see the spacing of the head and its motion, which is already pretty clean. Okay, maybe the foot is moving a bit fast too. You see here there is it's very slow and then very fast. Maybe I should even a bit this spacing and add a bit of overshoot in the knee or something. When it arrives, like the hips get pushed a bit by the foot inertia. Okay. Hello. Hello, Tsigit, Georgie. Hi. So what I will do is that I will increase the stretching on this pose for the head. So for this very move, I have a pose per frame. So I'm not really working with the curves in that case. I'm mostly working visually. But when I have like more than one empty frame, sorry, if I have a gap of, let's say, one frame and then another key here, I will work with the curve. And then I will also use the curve even on one spaces, just to see if the flow makes sense. So I will just use this stretching here to stretch a bit more the head on this pose. And here I will slightly reduce the stretching. So I have what I've just seen here is that I have input rotation due to this bone, which is okay, but I prefer to input the rotation with the head. That's gonna be easier to spline later on. So I will work only on one axis here. Okay. And what I can do is even squash a little bit the head on this frame and then recover. Okay. So I will work on the chest now because the head is some sort of child of the chest. So if I polish the head and then polish the chest, I will have to rework the head for sure. So what I want here is to bring a bit of dragging in the shoulders on this frame, for example. Then it stretch a lot. Here I will reduce a bit the stretching. And here it will catch up. You can see that there is a bit of squashing here. And she should recover. I will just increase a bit the squashing on those frames. So on this one, for example, And I will increase it also using the shoulders. I will input a bit of delay in the shoulders too. So now the hips. So for me, it's okay. Here they are stretching a bit too much. Now I will make them drag more on this one. And they will catch up, like here. With a slight overshoot upward, like that. And then I want to bring this pose before. Okay, I'm working only on the rotation. Okay. So here I have a lot of pinching on those two frames. So I will, I won't be stretching it that much. I'm just reducing a bit the stretching. I feel like this should happen a little earlier, so I will just check the location curve here. So you can see it here like dragging, okay? Then it is still dragging, and then here it's catching up and overshoot there. So I can increase the bounce effect here and offset the recovery, let's say. I will slightly make it overshoot down. Okay. So it's the location of the hips here I'm working on. And you have the, yeah, this nice sinusoidal curve here. I will keep it like that. Okay. So the arms will be pretty important here because they are also drawing the flow of the movement. The thing is that I have there is a bit of noise on the camera here, so I will display the camera. I have a procedural noise for when the dummy is falling on the ground here. Okay, when you touch the ground, there is a slight camera shake. You can see here on its rotation, it's moving. Okay, so it's just on the Euler rotation. I've added a modifier with noise here, so I will just uncheck it so that it doesn't. Can I see it here? Yeah, it's here. I will just disable it while I'm splining because it's super disturbing to have all this noise on the camera. I can't see it, so I just uncheck the box here. And I will get rid of the dummy. Now I can see what I'm working on. We get rid of the staging here, of the stage. And let's see. I think it's subtle enough. I don't want something too extreme. Okay. So now I will check the shoulders because I want them to here to slightly overshoot to get like if they were pulled up. So I will open the op sheet just to check. Yeah, I have almost a keyframe per a key per frame. Sorry. So here I will slightly push them down as she's arriving, and here I will input a slight overshoot. So I will duplicate this frame. And I will move them up and rotate them a bit. Now you can see the tight popping of the shoulders, but the recovery after is a bit too fast here. So I will just get rid of this key just to see. It's fast too. So maybe there is too much of a pop here. So what I can do is I select those two. Since this key and this one are almost the same for the shoulder, I will use the Shift E shortcut to create breakdowns. Okay. And it will, no, it's, the problem is that it's destroying my pose here. So I will go on the previous one to create a new pose. And I will like favorize the next one and override it. I will do the same here. And override. So I will basically have the same motion, but it will be softer. Yeah, that's way more subtle. So now I will, this one is a bit, yeah, it's weird because it's up here, there is no motion and then it's going, it's moving. So I will check the graph editor in this case. So I will start with the location and watch for plateaus or for nonsense. Like here, it's going down, it's going up while it's moving up, then it goes down for no reason and then it's raising again. So it doesn't make sense. I can get rid of this key, for example, here, and I will push this one down. So till she's like raising super fast, the shoulders are dragging down. I will just push this one up a little more. Okay. So it's dragging at full speed here a lot. And as she reached the top on this frame, it's going up. Okay. So it should be, I will add another key here. And I will push this one a little higher so that I have a bigger change here. Some kind of plateau or slowing down and then the recovery. And I think this should happen a little sooner here. The highest point. So I need to do this in the rotation too. Okay, I will display the rotation and we will probably like have, you see here, a big change in this section. So if I rotate this axis, we can see it's the axis we are working with. So it should be dragging a bit prior to arrive onto this. And as soon as it hits the extremes start to raise like super fast. Like that. And I will make it going down from there slowly. So the extreme goes at its highest point here and then recover smoothly. Even if we can't really see it in camera space, if I watch the shoulder from this angle, it looks a bit more subtle and soft than the super fast hop we had before. It's Pierrick, not Patrick. Beware. Yeah, I've already rigged the robots. That's not a problem. How can I activate the guide? What's that called? The spline thing? Ah, okay. Yeah, I will show you. Hey, Cathy. Hey, nice. Share your animation then on Twitter also. Just tag me on Twitter and share your animation so that I can see your progress. Do you mind if I recreate your shot with my rig for practice? What shot? This one? Yeah, if you want. Yeah, don't be sorry, man. Everybody call me Patrick because Pierrick, even for French people, is not a very common name. It's from Britannia. It's a specific region of France, and it has an old language. And since my father was from Britain, we all have this kind of name, which are not very common. So that's fine. Don't worry. So I will do the same on the other one, just for the motion trail. So those here. So I've shown it on every stream before. So if you missed it, it's not a problem. Just select the bone you want to track. So let's track the shoulder, for example. And it's in the armature option in pose mode here. Okay, you go to motion path. So you can find this also on the object where when you are working on a cube movement, for example, an object movement, but for the bone, it's in the armature option. And I will tell Blender to calculate from frame 145, for example, to frame 165. And when you click calculate, it will ask whether it has to track the head or the tip of the bone. So in this case, the head is the base of the clavicle and the tip is the shoulder. So I will select the tail, click OK. And now I can see my curve here. And so I can control if the motion arc is looking good or not. And it's not that bad, but here I can see that it goes back like super fast and just stop. So I should maybe bring a bit of backward motion in the root. It will, in the chest, it will update the path after a while. So here raise super fast, and here I will slightly overshoot backward with the rotation. So it's probably the X rotation here, this one. Okay. I will push it back and I will offset those. Okay, and this one I will slightly, I want to almost recover just after. So now if I select the shoulder, I can update the path. Okay, and now you can see I have a curve instead of having an hard edge and then it goes down. So yeah, this is, to be honest, this is something I wasn't doing that much prior to take the class. And since I'm in the workshop, I'm using it a lot. So, and it's like super powerful for sure. So now I'm working on the other shoulder. So from there, so we can see that the curve looks way better than the previous one. It's almost okay for me. So it hits its maximum there. So it should rise a little faster and maybe start going down a little sooner. Yeah, I like it. So if it was a very heavy and muscular character, I will add even more overshoot in the shoulders for sure. Or if she had like shoulder pads or armor pieces, you can bring a lot of appeal and readability to the movement by adding those overshoot. So the fact that the shoulder are dragging, and then when the body is stopping, they go over their initial position, and then they settle. Okay. So I think it's getting somewhere. So I will input a bit of this into the head now. Have you rigged? Yeah, good. Okay. Do you mind? So you can, yeah, if you want to recreate the animation, just, just credit me or say it's a fan art, or I don't know. So yeah, I won't be streaming for robot IK here, inverse kinematic, but making a robot inverse kinematic is like rigging any other part. It's, it's even easier to rig robots than to rig character like that, because you don't really need to care about weight painting. You just assign the pieces of your robot to the different parts. And hey Finn, so happy to see you there. Yeah, my best Blender friend for sure. And the guy behind a lot of tools I'm using. So yeah, Finn is the best. Okay, so yeah, if you don't have any, knowledge about rigging, you should take my rigging course. But yeah, I've also reviewed the art surface rigging course from Creative Shrimp, and it's pretty beginner friendly, because they really just achieve a pretty simple rig, and I think it's like really beginner friendly, and it's focusing on art surfaces. So if you are into robo rigging, I believe this might be something to watch. So I will just add a little of hope in the head here. So what's weird is that I have feel like the head is moving weirdly to the left. Okay, I don't know. So I will just let me check the extreme here. There is almost no motion, and then it's going down. So I will play with its location and see where the overshoot is. So here you can see that I'm pulling on the edge, just a touch, and then recover it faster. You see, I have a slight bounce in the end now. And so it goes with the shoulder, with everything. We have this. It's a bit too strong. It will be great for some goofy character, I would say. But yeah, for yeah, now it looks better. Okay. So now I will check the leg. I will see if I need to drag a bit the foot a little longer. And what I'm sure is that I need to input a bit of inner thigh here. So some kind of overfoot in the foot when it reaches this pose. So I have a tweaker bone that will help a lot for that, I think, because it allows me to work on this joint, okay, without modifying the foot position. And it was basically made to fix ankle shape when I had hard shape with the ankle. So timing wise, very hard to say. I will just, yeah, let's check this. So I will select this and I will just, you see here there is a, it's accelerating, slowing down, then reaccelerating. So the spacing is a bit off here. But since there is also rotation involved, visually it might not be that bad. So what I will track is this bone, not the foot bone, because the ankle will give me the spacing, a proper spacing, let's say. And you can see here this this is a bit weird to have this moving up and then right, okay? And also there is a big spacing here and then a smaller one. So whether I fix the previous pose, or this one, but I think I will go for the previous pose. I will just drag a bit the X motion here, and the Y motion also must be off at some point. So here you can see the Y motion is like that. I can update the tab from there. Oh, that's not super handy. Okay. So let's see the X motion. Yeah. So I think if I fix those two curves, I should be good to go. Okay. And I need to push the previous pose to here. So I can use this controller to do it. Yeah, looks better. So what I will do is I will key all those and I will move them almost frame by frame. So here, for example, I will slightly pull it down. Okay. So the foot is sliding on the ground and she's not raising it. Okay. But here I can slightly pull it up just to make an arc here. Okay. In camera space, I mean. And on this frame now, I will try to have a broader look to the shape, and I want really to curve the leg into the shape of the body, which is almost the case already. But yeah, I will just key those on each frame. So I will do this on one. And here I will slightly push it inward and push the leg here. And what I will do, what I explained in yesterday stream, is that I will also, using shade key, deform the gun because it has only one bone, so I can't really use any deformer, and its topology is not meant to be deformed that much, which makes sense. So here you can see also I have an overextension of the foot I don't like, of the knee, sorry. There is a slight knee pop. So it should at some point translate in the foot motion, meaning that she's like right on her toes, but if she's pulling up here and her whole body is pulling her up, I should have more rotation here. And then it will go down. So once she's with a slight delay, so it should be down the maximum here. Something like that. Now I will offset those, not to have too much jiggle in the foot. Now it's more subtle here. Okay. So from this point of view here, I will need to maybe slightly overshoot with the, you see the movement of the pull target of the knee here, okay? So as she stops with her foot here, I can whether overshoot with the pull or with this ball. Okay, so I will use this one. I will just check its location. So you can see maybe the X motion. Here can be pushed a touch. I will try with this one, it will make more sense, I guess. Bam. So on this frame it should be, from the camera view it's not like super obvious. I don't know if it's a very good idea. There is already a lot of motion in the leg. I will just move this one a little bit, overshoot this one a little bit. As she stopped there. Then I will go like slightly on the side for a couple of frames and then recover. So we don't even feel it that much in the camera view, but here it makes sense, so that's fine. Okay. So watching for questions. A transformer must be hard. Rigging a transformer. No, it's not hard. It's long to do. That's something people often get. I don't know how to say it, but you will see people telling you that they are doing like super complex rig because there is a ton of features, ton of bones, etc. But The complex rig is a complex mechanism. It's not having like 1,000 plates to be animated. Because if those plates are just rotating, you just put a bone in forward kinematic and that's it, it's rigged, okay? While a foot roll mechanism, for example, is way more complex, or a spine mechanism is, a good spine mechanism is complex to achieve, okay? But having a character with thousands of controller, it's just a matter of time, okay? It doesn't mean that it's complex, okay? So a complex rig is, yeah, a rig with a complex mechanism, complex behavior. But if it's just an arm like bending like that, and then you have the possibility to move plates on it another way, that's super simple. That's long to build, but it's not complicated. Because you will often see rigging people, trying to show like super complex rig with thousands of bones and saying, yeah, this is the rig of my life, let's say. But it doesn't mean they are good riggers, okay? So I will now work on the torso-wise. I think it works. So I will hide the arms and the gun just to see if the movement of the body works. For me, it's working. So I can even go into, let's see, like silhouette mode here. And see how it goes. So I think like here I could maybe rework a bit this part so that it's smoother, because there is a pinch here. Okay. Here it looks great. You can see the flow here of the silhouette. And here it's even better, I think. Because we also worked on the legs, so the directionality is like super easy to read. There is a slight right to left movement here. But maybe if I want to keep it, I should have, when she recovers, more of a motion like that. If you just watch this part here, you see the right to left movement here, and then it goes straight down. So maybe I will just double check the root motion here, its location. I don't want to play with the rotation now. And it's going to be its Y location, probably, which is almost flat here. Oh, I'm not on the right bone. Control torso, okay. Control tweak. Okay, I've pinned this. That's why I was seeing this curve. So let's see. I will get rid of the shoulder motion path because it's a bit annoying, and I will just get rid of everything here. So here it's the extreme forward, okay? And then here you see it goes like super fast backward. So this is one of the reasons why we have a strong change in the direction here. And then it's almost flat. So what I will do is that I can whether offset this one and then put a bit of motion forward, or maybe a slight overshoot. Let's see. Yeah. So now you see, if you just follow this part here, the base of the groin or the hips, now you can see that it makes almost a circle. It rise, go back, go a little back, and then come back forward. Okay, so it looks smoother. Okay, so now I will play with the arms. So let's see, like that. So this one is going to be like super important because it's in front of the character. Why is my whole character sliding? This is some. I had some weird issues lately with Blender sometimes. And I don't know why. So there is no root motion, I guess. There is no T. What I need, let me check something. I will just check if I had this problem on the previous one. Oh, so there is a slight up in the... Okay, yeah, the foot is sliding here. That's a bummer. Okay, let's see. If I keep the foot in place. So it does change the silhouette a bit. But I'm using this position for a long time, so yeah. Yeah, doesn't matter. She still feels balanced, I think. Yeah, that's fine. So I need a slight hook in this foot too when she reached the extreme pose. So here you can see, for example, the shape of the ankle doesn't look right at all. So I will I should be able to fix it with this bone. Not sure. No, that's the, yeah, no, I'm reaching the limitation of the rig, that's it. Okay, doesn't matter. So when the leg got pulled here, this one, I will slightly pull on the heel too. Like very subtle, but I don't want the foot to stay still. Okay. And even here, something I haven't really watched before, but I think on this key, so I can move this if I want, but maybe I should input just a subtle rotation on the side. Something like that. Now she relaxed, the foot get back in position. I think it's, yeah, subtle enough. Let's see. Yeah. Just to input a bit of motion on those extremes. So it's the Luciano move again. It's Luciano Munoz, which is one of Finn and I friend. We also make very like super cool YouTube animation videos. He's one of the best, or maybe the best Blender animator I know, and he also works on Maya. And he has like a heavy professional background as he worked in the industry for big features movies. He has worked on Alita Battle Angels and a lot of other movies. Just check for the Adventure of Lollipop Man. And he told me that my main, I don't know how to say it, the mistake I do a lot is not to move enough the feet of my character. So I told him that I won't forget about this, and I will call this the louche move whenever it hit my mind to, yeah, you have to move the feet of your character. That's the, yeah, okay. So I think I have enough secondary motion here. So I will finally find the arms. Let me just re-enable them. So just so you know, the theme that is in the comment here is the guy behind the bone layer manager. So that's some Blender VIP we have in the chat. And get rid of this. And I will just play the animation a bit while I'm catching up with the comments. So let me see. Okay, nothing new. Oh, okay. Oh, you don't need to tag me. Just tag me if you want. I'll be really pleased if you do so. But if you're working on a combo animation, I mean, that's a pretty classical exercise, you know, make a parkour animation, a combo animation, a fight sequence, a dance. Those are, I mean, exercises that are pretty common, so you don't need to tell me about this. Hey Alan, thanks for the shout out and the support. Finn, the character is from iAnimate. I think I've told you I re-rigged it, but yeah, they have very nice design. I will show you if we have time. I think end up just before 1, like in 1 hour and a half. Like I will take 5 minutes to show you the other rig I've made to be able to take the class. So even if I won't be following using it in the end, because the next assignment, it's not really optimized for the next assignment, which is a takedown animation. So I will use two lizards instead, I believe, because it's like a fat creature, so it wouldn't match. So let's polish the arm. So here my main concern will be to work on the silhouette of the character. There will be a spacing concern here when she raises the gun. You can see that it goes very fast and just stop like that, which is not like super good. But from there, I just want it to support the silhouette of the character. So you can see it's also mostly animated on ones. And I might stretch the bone a bit, but for the time being, I will mostly work with the rotation. So I can work with the curve. So the thing is that when you are working with Quaternion, sometimes it's not super obvious. In one of the previous streams, I shown how I use temporary Euler bone to constrain the quaternion to fix twisting issues. I think I will make a video about it. So I may have like big changes here in the rotation because I'm not using the rotation of the arm is not following the rotation of the body. Okay. So I mostly need to check the rotation in space. So I'm watching the right arm because the left one is bound to the right one, okay? And I'm watching the elbow right now, the elbow spacing in screen. So from there, it looks great. It could drag a bit, maybe here. So I can raise a bit the elbow because the head is leading, then the chest and the arm is just dragging a bit. And then I will make the gun drag a bit. So you can see here, for example, if we were tracking the gun, this movement backward then looks weird, okay? But there is a lot of jiggle here in the arms, okay? So this motion for me is fine. Elbow-wise, the elbow gets stuck near the in space. I mean near the chest and the ribs, so that's perfectly fine to me. What I don't like is there it goes back and then it goes up. I don't know. There is so here I think it should be a little more on the side of the leg. I guess I will walk on the wall arm at half. It will be easier. So here it's okay, but I want the gun to drag a little bit backward as she's moving like super fast. So I will make it dragging a bit here. And here I will reduce the dragging, okay? So it catch up. So I feel like it's dragging more on this frame than on this one, so I will make it drag a little more there. So I'm looking at this part of the gun here. And now it's unfolding, so it's going towards camera and pull. So from there, yeah, I will work on the whole arm and try to just follow the silhouette of the character. I don't necessarily want it to go like between the legs and cut the silhouette. And I will also use rubber band. So here I don't care breaking the joint of the character on this specific motion. And then I will add probably a shape key onto the gun. So I already have one just to show you when she pulled the guns. Here on this frame, you can see it's a shape key. I originally made it using the bone, just scaling it to get this smear effect. But it's better with a shape key. Once it's polished, I prefer to add the shape key just to make it better. So I will track the tip of this bone, which is the elbow here. So let's see from 145 to 155, let's say 160. Calculate tip or tail. So you can see here, this is what I don't want this straight line here. I want it to follow the spacing is already pretty good because it's following the route that I have already polished, okay? But I don't want this like straight line here, so I will slightly offset it on this one, okay? And I will break the arm a little more. Okay, from the front view, it looks pretty nice. Okay. Yeah, I will also track and calculate with the head this time. You can see this, I don't want that either. Here there is a weird position. So whether I open more the arm on this one or I move the whole hand on this one, so I can't. So it will start to rise a bit like that. And I will break the joint even more. And from there, she starts to raise her arm. But it goes too fast. I think I need an in between and a slight overshoot. So I will check the rotation of this one here. Because it like goes like lightning fast when she raises the gun. And if you watch which is okay, but if you watch the spacing here, it's pretty even, and from there there is a big jump in the rotation. So I will just move this a little forward and see if I offset this key. Okay. And I will slightly overshoot it. Okay. And then work with this. Okay, so here you can see there is some kind of a big acceleration. I will try just offsetting by 1 frame. Let's see. So I need to update the path here if I want to see the spacing looks a little more even. I think that's better like that. And I will also bring a little overshoot here. So it's already there, but it's very subtle. I will make it slightly stronger, and I will make her recover a little sooner, so that that's really bad, so that everything doesn't settle at the same time. So I will use the hand for that. Okay. So here you can see the wrist is a little broken, but I will break it more like that, and I will try to to curve the gun, and here also I need to give it a delay before it goes into its final pose, and I will slightly overshoot it, so we don't want her to take it in the face. We just go slightly down like an overshooting gun. I will offset this. It goes like super fast. I think it's okay. Okay. So I will now, in a way, sculpt the arm. So you can see here it's curvy, and on the next pose, it's just watching the curve from all sides. I think I will drag it more inward here. Then I need to double check the silhouette in camera space. I don't think it's a big engine, but the fact that the elbow is very stretched and then it goes like that, it's that's a bit particular, but it's happened on one frame, so that's fine. I will break the joint a little more here, and I will use the tweakers of the arm to make a curved arm shape. So let me get rid of this. So as I did before, I will just check each frame and keep those bones on each frame. Here I will FK. Just drag, move it a bit like that. Just to keep the arm a bit curved, like that, a bit bent. And so on those frames here, I will create some kind of smears on the gun, if I can, and if it looks good. I mean, yeah, it's way smoother now than before. It was a bit more snappy on the previous version, which is the kind of animation I like, but I think here it will betterly match what I've done before. So I need to work on the left arm now. I think it looks pretty cool. So let me catch with the chat. Hi Jay, nice to see you. Like every day with me, it's cool. I will try to stream tomorrow morning, but I'm not sure I will be able to. That's why, like today, I have planned the stream like 10 minutes before starting because lately I don't really know when I can stream or not. So when I feel like I have a time frame, I just settle the streaming and I go ahead. But yeah, for sure, on next week there won't be any streaming. There won't be any YouTube video because I will be on the road for 3 days, so I won't be working at all. But I will try to stream tomorrow morning. It will be in the morning because I think in the after. I'm sure that in the afternoon I won't be able to do so. So regarding yeah, is there a general rule for when it's okay to break bones over realism, or is it more about the style of movement that you are trying to achieve? So it's a question of style for sure. So if you are going into something like super realistic, you may not break the joint. Let's say you are animating for the Avengers movie. I maybe we can watch frame by frame, but I don't think when they are animating the O that they break the the limbs. But or maybe for maybe a Halo animation neither. Okay. And in game animation, it's not that common because you have a lot of limitation. But the rule is that you can like look at this one here. I'm starting bending the arms, and here they are totally like gummy. Okay, it's only on 1 or 2 frame. Okay, 2 frame here, and on very fast motion. Okay, so it's behaving like if I add motion blur. Okay, so yeah, this is let's say my not my go-to rules, but what the advice that was given to me. Okay, so for example, here I have like 2 frame, broken, 3 frame. Okay, and then she records, and this is when the movement is the fastest. Okay, and in this case, it's yeah, really a question of style than more than a question of motion, because I really wanted to have this cartoony way of moving in the end of the animation, like something super badass in the beginning, and then it gets more cartoony, let's say. But yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so hope it answers your question. So it's a question of balance, but if your director telling you that you may not use smears when animating, then yeah, there is no more question about it. I feel like this arm is overextending, and this is because the wrist here is not rotated, which is not comfortable. So I will fix that. I can rotate a bit the hand here and bring it up. It's parented to the other. I'm just checking in the camera view if it does looks weird, but it doesn't. And here I'm switching to, so here it's in inverse kinematic and parented to the constraint by the other arm. And here it goes back into forward kinematic. So what I will do to fake a more relaxed arm, I will move the shoulder, but it will break the silhouette of my character. So what I can do here is break the arm like that. Okay. So the arm is longer than it should be, but we don't necessarily notice it as it's moving like pretty fast. Okay. And here it's coming across the leg. If we add like one more frame, so I will just make sure that in this point of view, it's still in the silhouette here. So here I have a big gap, for example, it's in the front and then in the back. Okay. So I will just make it appear a bit upon the thigh here. I don't want it to break the silhouette of the character, so I don't want it to appear and cut this, but I don't want to hide the arm. It's like when on this right punch here, in the beginning, I did a very close to the face style of guard, which is the kind of guard we have in boxing. You keep your hand close to the face. But what my instructor told me is that animation is not real life, and you will favorize the pose that favorize the silhouette of the character. So even if bringing the arm back like this is more dangerous for the fighter, you know, visually wise here, we can spot the right arm and it gives more directionality to the strike, okay, than having it hidden here, okay? You see the difference? So that's the same idea. On this, I will make it just upon the dragging upon the side. And slightly break the hand so that it looks relaxed, but dragging behind. And here I can bring it a little more on the inside and slightly rotate it also. And here I will make a slight overshoot, I guess, but I think it's fine. When she read the her extreme pose, yeah, on this frame I will make a slight overshoot in the arm and then in the hand. So you can see here I have a flat curve. Okay, I will just bring this back. I'm just following the curve here. Overshoot like that, very subtle. Just to have a slight jiggle and some motion whenever she stays still here. You see here all the motion is in the end. At the end, only the end is moving, so it doesn't look like super interesting. So I will overshoot it a little more. And again, I don't want to overshoot it too much because it shows a lack of control, okay? And since it's a light character, it's not heavy, I don't want that. So this, I don't like this fold, and I want a final pose to come earlier. So I will again overshoot a bit. And when she comes into the next pose here, I will also overshoot a bit so that I have a moving hold. The hand will still be moving until the end of the animation. Okay. I don't want any static part. Okay. So now I can slightly polish the fingers. And yeah, I'm gonna be done with the polishing of the arms, etc. And I will input the motion in the gun, and hopefully in 1 hour I might be able to polish the head and the face. So it will, for the face, it will be mostly fixing eyes issues because the face doesn't have that much controllers. And for the hairs, it's, yeah, it will be mostly follow-through animation. So that's pretty intuitive. I mean, you just pose the hair. I like the motion here. Maybe the like really like this pose. It's pretty lyrical, but maybe the spacing compared to the previous pose is a bit too wide, too important. So I will just drag it forward a bit to, you see the position of the hand here, here, and there. So I'm trying to even a bit the spacing. And I will just pose the fingers so that they follow the motion of this. So I'm not posing the fingers on the gun, I don't care. They are tight to the gun. But I will, yeah, just slightly curl the fingers here. The thumb is okay in this position because we see it. And but it should be pointing toward its previous position. So if I change its shape, it won't look pretty good. Okay. I could also scale the fingers to create smears if I want. But I think it's gonna be too much if there are smears on everything. But the gun will be more the focal point. Here I can slightly rotate the thumb so that it's dragging. And here, so they are out of screen, but I don't care. I will make the fingers drags so they are curled. Like that, and then so I should read the curve here. It's gonna be easier. So what you can do is select all those controllers and tap ruler here, so that you just have the rotation keys. And the one interesting for us is the X rotation. So if I type X ruler, boom. And what I want is those fingers to drag. So based on their current position, I will just offset them down a bit. And here I will make a big overshoot. So I will duplicate those frames, move them up. Okay. You see they are overshooting here, and then they settle. And I can even do something like that. And I will do the same with those. Same deal. It's the Euler. So since they are dragging and they are later in the chain, they will be slightly delayed compared to the previous one. So here you see the end is doing a fast motion upward. So I curl the fingers and then they deploy and get back to their initial pose. So here when they start to bend backward, I will increase their bending like that. So I should do this per finger, okay? If I want like something like really, really perfect. but you can see on screen space it's very, very small. But if it was, I mean, I could do it, okay, that's, but it's a matter of how much time you have to spend. You know, if I was working on the shot for Disney, sure, I would be like polishing each curve of each joint on the whole character. But yeah, in this case, it's okay. So I don't know if you can feel it, yeah, but give a very subtle wavy motion in the finger, which is very, I like it, okay. And this is going to be the main thing we are going to do on the on sorry, on the hairs. Always harder for me to think in English than in French. And I will be in Italy in a couple of days, so I will have to think in a third language. That's gonna be something for sure. Okay, I think it's, yeah. I'm happy with the result. Let's see the whole animation, and I will catch up with the stream. I think I need a couple of frames just to, you know, it's a fast animation, but that's, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with how it goes. So I will just check the chat, and then I will just watch every frame of the animation to see if there is any bugs. There will be, but doesn't. Sure will be. Okay. Let me see. You make okay. There. Thank you, bro, for your work. No problem, man. CG Crazy Creative Team. You're welcome. Perfect. You makes complete sense. Thank you. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't understand Japanese or Chinese, I guess. So I don't know what's written, but if anybody can translate, that would be cool. So let me save. Yeah, let's watch each frame one by one and check if there is any. So here the fingers will receive a little more love. I will watch the animation inside you. So here you can see the eyes that I will fix right after. Here there is a big change in the wow, that's okay, but I feel maybe the fingers here. But I've been fighting with this pose here, so. What I will do is that I will just add the trigger pulling here. even if the gun is not made for it. If I do it like that, I think it's gonna work. So she should just right here. So she need to pull the trigger one frame before, let's say. Okay, so here, something like that. I'm not rotating the finger because you see here, yeah, maybe it's a bit too much. The feeling is almost better like that, you know. And I will create a new shape key that I will call trigger. Okay, for the gun here. So I guess it's, oh no, it's like that. So I can work on it like that. So I will just rotate it and pull it back. Something, oh, something like that. Okay. Okay. And let's key it. So 0, 1, push. And look, here I can release it. And on the finger here, I will keep the pose for a couple of frames. So I will be using the dope sheet. Offset this one, keep the finger pulling on it here. And here also, then. Okay. Yeah, because it's really nothing, but we can feel the motion in the screen. Okay. So what I will do, I will create just another frame here, just before. Okay. And I will select the gun. Why? Okay, I'm not in. Okay, I'm in the action editor. That's fine. And I will just slightly pull the trigger here. So we don't even see the trigger in space here, but in the render it might appear. So yeah. So yeah, you don't necessarily need to rig everything. So if it was really a game animation meant for a fighting game also, I wouldn't add those shape key on the fly just to enhance the the animation. But yeah, we have, like, during the training session, we have talked about all the requirements regarding a game animation, like it should properly work from any angles, for example. And we have tried to apply those principles to the whole animation, but at some point there is always a point of view, and you need to make the animation looks the best from this point of view. So I will just try to add a little bending to the gun, but I think it might be overkill here. For another shape key, because you see the topology is pretty limited. So I can't really rotate those points or bend the gun shape. I will need more loop cuts, and I don't want to modify the topology. So yeah, I'm just giving it a try, but yeah, you see it won't work. I really lack of geometry. When I was like pulling it using this one, It was fine because I was mostly stretching the gun, but I can't really bend it, so I'll just get rid of this one. And let's polish or instead of polishing, fix the face and hairs. So I will first focus on the eyes. So what you can do to do so, I will show you something. You go into view, you can lock the view on a bone, for example. And it's often looks pretty cool. So if I choose Lisa armature, Lisa rig, and I go for the torso controller, for example, you can see now the camera is focusing on torso control, and so it brings camera motion, which is looks pretty nice, at least on the beginning, because when she jumps, it's a bit overkill. And this is the kind of effect you see a lot on some animation rail, but the problem is that it's hard to track the animation quality when you do this. So it's a good trick to get like nice viewport effect, but it's a bit too much. Something I forgotten to do was to double check the shape of the body here. I think on this frame I might have to make just the body a little rounder, just on this frame. And then I will go back to what I was explaining. Okay. Yeah, you can play the animation in slow motion. I will show you. Okay, cool. Good afternoon then in Chinese. Thanks. So it seems that all of those are keyed on once, so I can just curve it a bit like that. That's just what I wanted to do, just to get here not a dugged shape, and so it supports the silhouette of the character. Here, for example, I could push it a bit like that, for example. Okay, but I won't overdo this, it's okay. To go into slow motion, you can change here the time remapping. So it's I think it's in percentage or something. So for 100 frames to be read, how many frames do I read? If I set 200 here, it will go twice slower, because it will be reading 200 frames for 100 frames in the animation. Okay. And here you can see the arm bug due to and the neck bug due to the quaternion. Okay. So I need to, if I want to play the whole animation for 170 frame to be read, I need to read 340 frames. So it can be a good way to maybe to review your animation, but it's dangerous because it gives you another vision of your animation. So if you were to animate a real slow motion, then I will do it by hand, like faking slow motion in space, not in space in your timing. For example, you could make a slow motion jump like that, but keep the hair with the real time motion, it's an effect we see a lot in movies, where you have some part of the 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 element in the screen that doesn't move at the same pace as the other one. So yeah, FaceTime. Okay, I will track the head. Okay, so I go to view, Lisa. Okay, and the head control dev bone, yeah, control tweak, target bone and head should be fine. Okay. So now the camera, my view will be following this. Okay. So I can track the moment where there is a bug here. I'm not sure it's going to make my life easier. Yeah, we'll see. And I need to select the face controller. So face. And the idea is to always never cut the pupil of your character. Okay. So here it looks fine, sorry. And as she's following the target here, it doesn't look that good. So I can even offset it a bit so that we feel like she's looking forward in camera space instead of here if I re-enable the dummy, she might not be looking at him, but in camera space, since it will be just in front of her, that's gonna be okay. So here you can see it looks weird, but on this frame it looks more or less okay. Okay, so we'll just add a keyframe on both, and then I will fix this one. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it's because it's, yeah, very close to the face. Okay. So first we should be starting to look on the other side. So maybe I should make her blink, because there is a big motion in the eye. So what I will do is that I will make her blink at this moment. So I think that when you're blinking, sorry, you're closing faster than you're opening your eyes. Okay. So if I close on one frame, which is a bit short, I think I will be opening on maybe 3 or 4 frames. So this is just a clipping issue of the eyes, but I will fix this. And I should have a bit of dragging in the eyebrows too when she's closing her eyes. So I will push the brows down compared to her previous pose, and when she opened them, I will just offset those here. I don't know what's happening on the other side, but it looks okay. And now I will just play with that. I will put it a little, it's too close from the face. I prefer to animate with this. And it's not following the head, it's free in space. I feel like it does the job as I want. So here I'm watching in camera space, so it looks. But yeah, we don't really have anything to show. So for example, if I was framing like that and she's watching, let's say here, I won't be doing something like that where the pupil is cut, I will keep it like that, okay? And even here, do something like that, okay? So here there is a big change in the, oh, okay, because it's too close from her face. So I will move it right away on to the next one, okay. Yeah, the eyes are not moving like weirdly now. It's way too close for my face. So it's a bit like, you know, it's a bit rough to do it like that, but since it's not a key element of the animation, I can, you know, just fix it this way. So now she should be starting to look on the other side, preparing for the jump. So now I get back to camera view. Here you can see. I will lower it and slightly offset it. You can use the trackball to. Okay. So here it's way too extreme for her. Now she's looking down, which is not good. Here again, I can't really see the pupil, so I will slightly in camera space, I mean, slightly rotate them like that, so that it appears betterly. Here it looks pretty good. Okay. I always have a slight offset in the eyes. That's boring. Okay, to say the least. Exotropic strabisme. Oh, Kevin. He's my best friend from Bordeaux. I'm sorry, I have a phone call. Okay, I'll call back later. So yeah. Need to see because I think like I've been fixing the keys a lot for nothing at some point. And this is why sometimes it looks weird. because the eye target is too close. Okay. Wow, there is a big motion change in the head here. That's not super good. I'll check that later. Okay. So yeah, the bummer here is that we can't see that she's aiming in the camera space, but that's fine. And here she's closing her eyes. And here the issue is that the motion of the shape key, you see, is not closing enough. So, and I wanted to drag with the eyebrow, so I will just reduce the eyebrow motion here, because there is already stretching in the head. So, and then it squashes. So I wanted to add squash and stretch using the eyebrows, but yeah, didn't work very well. Here I have some clipping, probably because the target is like, yeah, not in the right place. But I can push the eyes in their sockets if needed. When I have this kind of bug, we don't really care. Here the eye is keeping with the... So I will just move it a bit. So let's see if I can input a bit of squash and stretch also into the... So I will just, when the head hits here, its lower position, 1 frame later, I will frown just a bit, so that it goes like that, and then those goes down. We can't even feel it, but if anyone looks frame by frame, they will notice that there is this little bounce in the eyebrows. So yeah, I think it's looking okay. So now I can work on the hairs, because I think the face motion is this rotation of the head is like quite painful to watch. Here, don't do that at home, because the camera is not rotating, so it's like we get into an extreme. I don't know if I can get the target bone in the head. If I follow the deformation head, I don't think no, the camera doesn't rotate around. Lock camera to view. No, yeah, no. Okay. Maybe there is option to. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I will save that and try to catch up in the chat. Um. Okay. When you export the Maya rig from Maya, did you add to paint the weight or they come with the FBX? Do you have to repaint the weight manually in Blender? No, so I've shown it on the previous stream a couple of times, but I will show you again, no problem. I will import the FBX so that you can see on what I'm working. Rigs, Lisa. Okay, it will take a couple of seconds. Cool, damn, thank you. Bioglyph, thank you. I wish there was an option in Maya to have the rotation control like in Blender. You push RR and you instantly really rotate. I love that. Yeah. I almost never use it, but yeah, for eyes it's pretty good. So yeah, when I import the FBX, it looks like that. So it's a bit messy because the deformation bone are no longer parented and they are weirdly aligned space. Okay. And there is still some reference bone from Maya. But yeah, you can see that the hierarchy is broken, but the skinning is already done. So I just need to basically reconnect the bone one to the other and then rebuild the whole controller rig. Okay. So before I dive onto splining the hair, I will just show you the other rig I built. Hugo, and it's pretty badass. So it has a lot of different properties. Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah, a feature like that. So nothing. So there is a lot of controller because he has many limbs, let's say. But yeah, that's a cool guy, let's say. So I have rotation control from the tip, from the head, you know. So you mainly animate your IK like that, and then you can bring a bit of subtle movement like that. What one of the challenging part for this guy is that there is a lot of corrective bones. There is no corrective shape key, but you can see, for example, the omoplate bone here movement. Okay, so if I display this, and he also has some, you see, corrective bones for the biceps and the elbow so that you keep an arm angle here. And he has way more bone, wrist bones and secondary bones than the rig I was used to work. So reworking all those rings, rebuilding those rings for Blender was, I've learned like a lot of new stuff. So that I will share later on in my rigging videos for sure. But yeah, it was like super interesting to see rigs from and all the deformation and the skinning from like professional riggers. Okay. That was sure a cool thing. I'm really happy about that. This is done. Yeah. So yeah, is pretty cool. So I thought that the second assignment would be like two two characters fighting, but it's currently a takedown, so we need the we need the two characters to be pretty balanced in weight to have really good interaction, because if he was like to take her by one hand and just rip her head off, that wouldn't be so that much interesting. Okay, back to polishing the hairs. Okay, so let's get started. So I don't know if I will start with the ponytail. So I will also track the head here, I think. So Lisa, I will just do it for 10 minutes, and I don't like I don't like to do it with tracking. And then I will take off for lunch. And then I have to move. So basically it's, well, only one axis rotation. Oh yeah, no, I still have the filter. I was starting to panic. Did you feel it? Like, what I haven't, like I lost all my keys. So it's follow through animation. So that's pretty basic. I'm using Euler, so X and Z, I guess. Yep. So I start in the side view. She's going down, so the hair will drag slightly up. So it's a very slow movement here. So I need to make it like super subtle. I will just duplicate the key and push it up, like so, just a touch. Okay. Then it should be dragging toward the previous position. So if you're moving forward, the hair will point at their previous position. And when she goes up, it starts to bend down. So it should be bending whenever the speed is at its maximum. So the extreme of the bending would appear like here. So this plateau here is not a good thing. So I will just raise a bit this key, and there I will make it way more like that. I will take this one. Oh, they are inverted. No, that's fine. And so this one should be dragging too. So compared to its previous, I don't know to say, to the previous bone. So it goes down. This one will raise a bit, and there it should catch up. So something like that. Yeah. Then acceleration, it's bending. This one is bending a lot. Downward, sorry. And it will snap on the other way. Here, when she touch with the punch, here it should be like way higher. So I will offset this one like that. And those will really increase the feeling of impact of the punch. Okay. So it's dragging too. And then it changes direction. So when the root is rotating super fast upward, the tip is dragging, okay? So I should have an extreme drag of the ponytail like that, and when it reach with a bit of delay, it will snap forward. So we can see there is also rotation on Z. I will check that I don't have that much rotation on Y at the same time, because it will input a gimbal lock, and now I can watch the. I don't know if you can feel now the little snap in the air. So I will just bring this a little forward on this one. Yeah. Okay, it's out of screen because of the Z rotation. So I will work on the Z rotation on the root of the hair. So the other way here. I will even hide the Y location. So it should drag left here, so we can see that it's kind of wrong. I will just kit type. Okay, thank you. And as it reached the punch here, big change in the motion. So the extreme will occur at the same time, maybe. Okay. So now we should have, yeah, we have a bigger space in here. And the thing is that she dives into the next punch. Okay. So I need to keep some kind of curvature into the ponytail here. As if it was a ribbon following the head. Okay. So I will just raise a bit this one upward. So I could do this like that if I want. But I prefer to use the curve not to mess with the y axis, the y rotation. Okay, so she punch, and here she almost stopped. So I need to, you can see here to move extremely, let's say this, something like that. And this will drag a bit. So you see that the extreme is the same on both controllers, which is not good. So I will offset this by 1 or 2 frames. Okay. Yeah, it goes like super fast, but yeah. You'll be able to testify that I did put the effort into splining these parts. So here I just want to have a bit of you see that it gets back into place like super fast, which is not good after such a big move. So I will just drag this a bit. Then she's just raising, so I can get rid of a couple of frames just to automatically smooth my curve. Okay, the lazy way, but it does work, not a problem. So now when she's raising, the hair should be dragging a bit downward, so it's gonna be my X key here, X channel, sorry, and then it catch up when it does the step. So she reach the upper position here. So a few frames after, I can raise a bit the chunk of hair. Not too much here. It's gonna be like it won't match the motion. So here it will settle like that. Just a little bounce in the air. I need to watch out for something too shaky, or I don't know how to say it. But, so I can overshoot a bit from the now. the previous recovery. Then when she will be moving, so there is a lot of motion in a way, counter motion the other way. That's not the easiest part. So here it should be moving this way. And then she will rotate the head the other way, so I will have to counter the rotation with the head. So yeah, we'll be almost done, I think, with the stream, but you have the idea. So the thing is that follow through animation like that, it's a matter of time. You just spend the time to let's say try to do it like properly. Yeah, it's better like that. And that's it. But if you keep things like I don't know, but if you just keep on thinking of what's happening on screen, you should be fine. I mean, the ponytail it's raising, so the tip is dragging down. The ponytail is reach its upper point, so now this will start to go the other way, etc. So for example, here it's going down, this should go up a little more, something like that. And when it reaches the down pose, it will catch up, but later on. Okay. I think it goes too low on this key. So then the level of arcing the motion is based on the so I will get rid of those Y rotation because that will be problematic when they become too extreme, and I prefer to fix then the curve. Just checking that. This is why so in this case we've done the first motion of the air during the blocking stage, which I absolutely never do when I'm working in production, for example. Because I then prefer to work with curve directly to avoid any bugs like the y-axis you just seen. So I feel like maybe I could make the air reaching their extreme a little later, like here. So I will just offset those frames. It will make the swing a little smoother. So I feel like, yeah, it's rotating a lot here. Let me check that. I don't like this key, it's useless. Okay. So it's dragging like that. Wow, it goes like super fast. It's a very fast motion. But if I input a little bit of delay in the rotation, I think it can read better. Yeah, that's yeah better right now. I'm not sure it does read well in the stream, but it's a little better on my screen. Okay, so I will stop there. Um, I think it's yeah, it's going somewhere, someplace I like, let's say. Um, I will just re-enable the dummy, so the dummy is not polished at all, uh, which sucks. But you know, everything takes time, so yeah, here it is. Okay. So if you have any question, it's the time. If you don't have any question, I will just wish you a good appetite and see you see you later. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I couldn't find any news on the next course on Discord. Can you tell us what's planned? It will be an animation course, a full animation course. I plan to release it for Christmas. I think that's an achievable goal, as I will start recording at the end of September. But it might be beginning of 2021. I don't know. And it will be a full animation course from beginner to this kind of animation. Like you've never made an animation in Blender to this, but you may know Blender already. So it's going to be a big course for sure. I've already written down the plan, and it's a big one. So I don't know how long it will take to record. But yeah, at least a month, maybe 2 months. And then you have to edit it. So it's almost as much time as recording. So yeah, if I do it within 2 months, 3 months, I think it's decent. Okay, guys, so let me switch to the beauty shot camera. Have a good lunch for European people and for other people all around the world. Just have a good day, a good night, whatever, and I'll see you in the next stream. Thank you. Bye.